Yeah, my trip to Utah was interesting. It was through previous coach, Chris Latham. I played a couple of games against a team he was coaching a few years back, and he made contact with me 12 months later, and ended up here last year. So that was my trip to Utah. Yeah, so I played in Christchurch in New Zealand where I'm from, and then when I was 21 I moved over to Scotland. That's where I played my first professional rugby. Played a couple of years there and then moved through to Europe, played a little bit in Europe, went back to New Zealand, and from New Zealand came back here. So definitely my mum and dad, they've always been there when I was a kid, dropping me off to trainings and picking me up and coming down to the games and stuff. Yeah, so they've definitely been really good supporters. They still check in weekly with me, see how everything's going, so you couldn't do it without them. I think it's good to see. I mean, I haven't played a home game here, but from different teams I've been with around the world, having a good home crowd definitely helps. And from what I've heard, we've got a really good support base here. The stadium fills out each week, so I'm really excited to see that. And yeah, be a good year. Maybe like it's like a free-flowing game. A lot of American sports stops and starts, and you sort of get your adverts in there, but we're quite free-flowing. We don't wear pads, and yeah, we sort of just get stuck in and smash each other. My style of play on the field would be probably a bit loose at times, like sort of just try and play what's in front of me. Try and have a crack, like if the space like presents itself, just have a crack and back yourself. But definitely a team player. Like at the end of the day, I want the team to do well. So last year, playing for the Warriors, wouldn't say it was my overall favourite, but it was definitely like up there, and it's relatable to the Warriors. In Vegas, when we played the Free Jacks, we came off a pretty tough loss first round, and then the next week we put out a great performance, and we sort of clicked for the rest of the year. So that was a really cool experience. Yeah, so we're pretty lucky in New Zealand. We didn't have like lockdowns too much, so we had like 4 weeks lockdown when I got back. I just did a lot of running, pretty much just keep fit. I knew we were at altitude here, so I needed to get as fit as possible. So yeah, there was a lot of running. My all-time favourite rugby player was originally when I was younger, Andrew Moonan's the guy that played for the All Blacks like way back in the day. Then as I sort of went through like my teenage years, you had Dan Carter and Richie McCaw re-come on the scene for the All Blacks. So yeah, probably those three. Growing up, I played a lot of different sports. I played basketball and cricket, but got to a point where I was about 18 and sort of had to choose. So, but if I can get into any sports, I will. Golf, cricket, touch rugby. I am Hagen Schulte, and I'm here for the nation.